Hey guys, welcome to another installment of TXC's Drills with Will. On this installment, we're going to be talking about something very foundational, but vital for all of us, and that's the grip. Let's get after it. Okay guys, we're going to start with the why behind the grip. Now this is very simple, there's nothing crazy about it. I can have the fastest splits in the world and the most aggressive vision I could ever have. Very fine-tuned, I mean I'm picking small spots at distance, up close, at speed, everything. Transitions are zen mode, splits are bussin'. But all of that's a waste if I don't have a grip to support that aggressive vision at speed. So I can have the speed, but I'll never have the accuracy to support it. That comes right here. We're going to talk about a couple things that can happen if we have misguided tension in our grip and what can happen. Let's start there. So when we're discussing the misdirected tension, basically in the firing hand, what can happen right before you consciously make the decision to fire, you are having what you think is just a trigger pull become this. This sympathetic response, when you start misguiding tension into the firing hand, is going to redirect that gun. Okay, and this is a quick way to assess it. I'm going to exaggerate this demonstration to kind of give you a better example of what can be happening and how to diagnose on paper what's happening right here in the present. When I press the timer, I'm going to fire one shot into the target. Essentially, this is attacking the beep. What I want to do is, the moment I perceive the timer going off, I want to pull the trigger as soon as I can. And if this has become this, we're going to see a misdirected impact. And it has nothing to do with the recoil causing that. We're the ones on the first round causing the impulse to put the round where it went. There's no recoil involved in that first shot. So we're going to go ahead and separate ourselves from the issue before we start worrying about building our foundation for recoil management. Okay, so let's see what's going to happen. I'm going to exaggerate this one for the sake of the demonstration. Right when the timer goes off, I'm going to pull, I'm going to add crushing tension to this hand to where this becomes this, and let's see what it does on paper. All right, here we go. Okay, one more time. There we go. That's as tight as I can crush right when I pull the trigger. So it looks like this all happening. Let's go to the target real quick. So the first round went, unfortunately, where it was supposed to go. That doesn't help the demonstration. What we're trying to show is, as I pull the trigger like this, it's a sympathetic response. The round ends up going a little bit lower and left. Because we're a little bit over 7 yards right now, it's not going to be as exaggerated. But if we go to 10, we go to 15, we go to 20, it's going to be very dramatic. We're going to go ahead and get rid of that. So for a few rounds, maybe 10 rounds, do attacking the beep drill. So you're going to set the timer, have everything prepped and ready. Right when the timer goes off that you perceive, you pull the trigger. And you're going to start working on the tension with this hand, going back from this to this. Okay, so now that we know the cause and effect from this happening and this happening sympathetically, we've seen on paper what can happen. So let's just get rid of that. This is what I think about with my firing hand. All I want to do with my grip with the firing hand is, one, have a high purchase, as high as I can get. This particular platform is a 2011, so I'm pretty much set to the back right here. And all I'm doing and thinking about is these three fingers here are pursuing this pad. This pad is pursuing these three fingers. It is not a crushing tension. It is a very light tension. This pad and these fingers are just pursuing each other. That's all they're doing. There's nothing else added. It is a very light grip. I'm adding a hair more tension on the bottom side of the grip than I am the top, because I want minimal, if any, tension at all on this bird finger here. This is usually the culprit. If you guys check with your grip as you're shooting, you'll realize I have so much tension built up here that is inhibiting my trigger finger. The moment this gets tension in it, this starts happening instead of this. So I'm always conscious of this finger, for me, being loose in my grip. Okay, now to the primary engine of the grip, which is the support hand. So for me, with my support hand, all I'm thinking about is clamping. This is active and this is active, pursuing each other. It is not just closing. I almost feel like I am clamping like this with this hand. It is a straight clamp, like a vice grip on the gun. I am clamping this down and locking it. It is even tension across the board, and then I'm thinking consciously a little bit more tension towards the bottom side, just on the fulcrum itself. My thumbs, for me, are completely irrelevant, and they do nothing for recoil management. Any input I take on my thumb and put on the gun has to be matched or redirected on the other side. So why would I want to push on the side of the gun or down on the gun when it's just going to cause it to be misaligned? My thumbs are irrelevant for the grip. Okay, so let's build it. As the primary hand or firing hand, I am having these 3 fingers pursue this back pad. And this back pad is simply just pursuing them. Because this is a 2011, inherently the thumb safety is being managed by this primary hand thumb, and that's all it's doing. I am now building my grip inside here, looking just like this. It is clamped in on this side, and it is clamped in on this side all at once like a vise. You'll notice if we look, my grip is just like this. My thumbs are irrelevant. My knuckles are fairly vertical to the earth, and I'm locked in. This portion of my knuckle is pretty much inside or just underneath the trigger guard, and that's all I'm doing. I am closing this side in and closing these in. Constant pressure, and that's all I'm after. This hand is essentially at this point along for the ride. I am only letting this hand be conscious of this bottom fulcrum and pulling the trigger. I want this bird finger, the bad boy right here, to be completely void of tension, because when this starts getting tense, this starts locking out, and this becomes this, as we've discussed before. Let's give some examples of this support hand not being engaged, and let's watch what the gun does, and also this being the cause, the effect on paper is going to tell us a story. If this support hand is not locked in, the gun is going to want to travel the path of least resistance, and you're going to start seeing the rounds travel upwards. So again, we're going to exaggerate this at 7 yards, and we're going to demonstrate a poor grip, meaning the support hand has left the chat. We're going to fire a few pairs of doubles and then look at the paper. Okay, as a reminder, this is demonstrating a grip not being supported at all. The hand is wrapped, but it's not adding any tension. You'll notice the gun is climbing. If we slow those clips down, you'll see the first round, and as the slide is reciprocating, there's nothing supporting it, giving it a positive return to the same point of aim. It is going to be firing the doubles a little bit higher. Let's look. So we have our initial rounds. The first round, as the gun is recoiling, there's nothing to support it to cause it to return, so our grip isn't supporting that vision at speed to shoot these doubles, and you'll see our second rounds tracking up higher, even significantly high if I increase the splits. So this will tell us really quickly that my grip is not there to support my vision when I want to shoot these doubles at speed. So we have our first rounds and we have our second rounds traveling. That means right away when I see this on paper, uh-oh, grip is not engaged. All right, let's tune this up. Okay, now what we're going to do is engage that support hand, that clamp or vice grip on the gun, and shoot the same. It'll be a few pairs of doubles just to evaluate, hey, is my grip there to support my vision at the speed in which I would like to shoot? Let's look at the target. So we had 12 splits, 13 splits, and a 14 split. Everything is tight, everything is controlled. The dot is making a, for me, when my grip is supporting my vision, everything is tracking, I see a lowercase I happening. It's being painted in front of where I'm fixated. So I'm fixated on what was a white spot, a little piece of tape. My eyes are fixated there, and what's happening is a lowercase I is being painted in front of it. And it's telling me, like, hey, at speed, when I'm shooting, there's nothing kind of diverging or moving around. It's nice and trackable. The dot is leaving a small spot and returning. My maximum divergence is a few inches above and maybe 1 or 2 inches below, but it's all pretty tight. That's what I'm after. Everything is working. When that happens for me, it's telling me, hey, my grip is supporting my vision at the speed in which I want to shoot. That's it. It's very simple. So again, to revisit the grip, there's nothing to this. Primary hand or fire control hand. We're just going to have the fingers pursue the pad, pad pursue the fingers, just like that. No other tension, to where this can move freely and not add any input on the gun via grip. The moment this sympathetically starts happening, the gun is going to be redirected on the first round. You have failed before you even started vetting the grip, because by that first round, you have redirected it by tension, okay? Support hand. We are clamping around the gun like a vise, and that is it. My goal is a vertical set of knuckles. My thumbs are irrelevant. I am clamping on that gun. I'm aware of a little bit more tension on the bottom of the hand, and that's it. So what you need to do is work on an entire magazine of separated doubles, meaning we are not going in pairs like, we're actually shooting a pair of doubles, assessing visually and on paper what we had. Did our grip support our vision? Ramp that up into 3x2s or 2x3, so 2 rounds followed by 3 at speed, and then go into build drills. And this is not necessarily from the holster. We're not trying to stack anything. We are set up and we are structured already at the target. Our vision is fixated, and we're just gonna fire at speed to make sure our grip can support our vision. That's all. Once again, guys, thanks for tuning in. We appreciate you, and I hope this helps you in a small way or a very large way. We're all still growing. We're all still trying to climb and chase those splits that we're after in that aggressive vision. So let's keep layering this on the range and having a great time. Remember, eat steak, be loyal to your wife, turn to Christ. Oh, and don't forget, like and subscribe on YouTube, follow TXC Holsters on Instagram. And if you have any questions directly to me, it's Stuffs and Pews. If you have anything else regarding this equipment with TXC Holsters, it is at TXC Holsters on Instagram. Be safe. Clean 178.